So out in the garden with Dave the Garden Guy, you said, yeah, go ahead and aerate. That reminds me of the time you gave me those stupid things to put on the bottom of my shoes. Those were worthless.
They had nails on them.
Oh my gosh, they kept coming off my feet.
That was your way of working out, dude.
This is like a joke that he's
You know
playing
what?
on me.
You need a little workout every once in a while. It was the funniest thing you ever saw. Somebody sent them to me. I said, I know who I'm going to give those to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
You lost all credibility that day.
I did?
Yes.
I thought I lost it for the rest of every day. Hey, listen, let's talk about water in a little bit. Make sure we're getting those plants ready for winter time. So deep watering is real important, about every 2 weeks. On all the plant material. Bobby, go around, just show off all our plant material in here.
I'm glad the cool weather's here, so now things can actually grow.
Yeah, and thrive.
And live.
The hottest summer we've really had that I can remember on record. And there's a lot of plant material that's got a lot of problems, and especially with that salt buildup. So if you don't water deeply right now, it'll never go away, folks. So you got to water deeply, you got to water infrequently. So we push that water or that salt down through the root zone with water, of course. And when we water 3 foot deep. That pushes that salt down past that root zone and allows that tree to come back from this.
Now, do you let the water just run on the surface, or do you use one of those things where you put it down in the ground?
I let it run on the surface. Okay. In fact, the water has to sit on the surface, and that creates that pressure to push that salt down past that root zone. Very important. The other thing, talk about it all the time, lots of compost, but this is real important, folks. You want to build what is called a forest floor around your plant material, especially this time of year. Not only is it going to keep the weeds down, but there it is, Bobby's going down, but it's also going to keep that moisture in. It's going to help out with that microbial activity, which is going to feed that tree, and it's really going to help out the overall ecosystem around that tree's roots. So what we're doing right here, Scotty, you can see it, just lots of leaves right on top of it, lots of compost underneath it. This is real important, right at the drip line of the edge of a tree. So you're looking at a pomegranate tree. So right at the drip line of a tree itself, this is where you do it. This is where all those nutrients get pulled up into the tree itself. So we talked about watering, we talked about creating that compost, and then of course we want to go ahead and fertilize. So some type of foliar feeding or foliar application is the ideal situation for taking some extreme juice, compost tea, anything like that. Spraying it on the plant material early in the morning is going to be very important, especially this time of year. Last but not least, for those trees that have got real tender type of trunks, like your citrus trees and something like that. You got to go ahead and paint it with a white latex paint. I just picked this stuff up at some of your home centers here in town, but a white latex paint.
Can't you mix that with half and half with water?
Half and half? You know what? You might as well just go ahead and do this.
Well, where do you think I learned all this stuff?
Here, there you go, dude. Start working.
I knew that was coming.
There it is. So making sure you do that on any of your plants that are really got tender type trunks. That's your citrus trees, a lot of your apples and pears and peaches and all those guys. But it's real important to do it this time of year. Why? Because the sun is very low in the horizon and it shoots right underneath those that leaf material, and invariably you get a lot of sunburn. So there you go, Scotty.
All right, you got your credibility back.
I did.
And if you ever want to borrow my weed eater to take down some of this stuff around here, let me know.
I like foliage. Stop complaining. Every time he comes out here, you know what? You need to do some trimming. We're going to talk about trimming next segment, by the way, what you should or not. But Scott's not going to be using those pruners.
I would knock it all down.
No, you don't want to do that this time of year. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Thanks,
Gina,
buddy.
There you go.
Oh, sorry, dude.
I'm getting my suit all dirty, man.
I'm sorry, dude.
That's probably an expensive suit.